an actual dynamic warm-up / mobility flow that you can do before the training session. You can also do this at a separate time, like a morning routine, evening routine. The more you do it, the better your mobility will get, better your mobility and stability will get of the areas that you need to work on. So we're gonna start off with basically we're gonna open up, or not say open up, but get some mobility in the hamstrings. And the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna push my low back into the ground, and I'm gonna punch my heel up into the ceiling. So right now I'm getting an active stretch here, okay? You can push your elbows into the ground, you can push your palms into the ground to keep that open chest, and I'm gonna switch, okay? Every time at the top, I want you for 3 to 5 seconds to push up actively. So my tailbone is pushing into the ground, my heel is pushing to the ceiling. Switch. Right, so you gotta stay up there for a second, keep trying to get it longer. Right, long hamstring, long hamstring. And switch. So we're gonna do these switches 6 times, so 6 per side, 3 to 5 second holds at the top, trying to push that heel up to the ceiling. I'm pushing my low back into the ground, so don't let the low back come off the ground. So once we do 6 per side, I'm going to roll over into a push-up position. And from here, I'm gonna squeeze my glutes. You can put face down, kind of forehead down. You can leave it open a little bit. I'm gonna reach out as much as I can, and then one hand is gonna come behind my back, the other one's gonna come become my head, and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. Then I'm coming out again, reaching, distracting that shoulder, and switching sides. And reach, and pull up, and behind as much as I can, and switch and reach out. And reach out, okay? From here, I'm gonna do 6 per side, same thing, reaching out. And you can see I'm sweating a little bit because work. From here, I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna start off in a Spider-Man position, and we're gonna Spider-Man lunge position. Now, here's what the Spider-Man lunge is, okay? You can do different variations. This one, we're gonna keep that knee off the ground, and I'm gonna punch my heel out as much as I possibly can, okay? So imagine that like I'm driving that heel back, driving it back as far as I can, while I'm trying to push this knee forward. Right, so I'm pushing that knee forward, I'm punching that heel back, okay? I'm keeping my chest nice and open, I'm squeezing my back butt cheek, okay? And I think like I'm trying to open up my chest. Now, if I do this at the same time, push my knee forward, push my heel back, it's literally ripping my hips apart. This is an active drill. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is hold this for 1 minute, and as you get looser, remember you keep pushing that heel back, keep pushing the knee forward, it's active. I'm gonna bend my elbows and try to drop my hips a little bit lower, get a bigger stretch in my glute. Okay, so you're doing this for 1 minute, and then you're gonna switch up and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna punch my heel back as much as I can. I'm gonna push this knee forward. I'm gonna lock out that knee in the back, at least try to, and I'm gonna sink my hips in. And you wanna breathe, don't hold your breath. Don't stay tight, like don't hold your breath, right? Own the position. The more that you can breathe in this position, the more you'll be able to get into this position. Okay, so you're gonna go 1 minute per side. From here, we're gonna combine a couple of things, okay? Now we're gonna step back, and we're gonna go into downward dog position. So push-up position, remember, we're pushing the ground away into our hips, flattening out our spine. So you're gonna feel a big hamstring stretch, okay? And from here, I'm going to also lift one leg up. So now I'm punching this leg out. I'm feeling that big, I wanna align my hips with the floor. I'm feeling a big stretch in my hammy. I'm punching this out, and then I'm gonna come forward into a Spider-Man lunge. This time you can put that knee down a little bit and relax. So once I'm in this position, I'm gonna reach through and open my thoracic spine up to the ceiling, okay? I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna go back into that single leg downward dog position, long, punch that heel out. If you don't have that mobility yet, just do 2 legs. Then I'm gonna come forward again, knee down, reach through, open up to the ceiling. Remember, I'm opening my whole chest up, right? Watch. My chest is turning, and then I point up. A good way to do this is to drive with the elbow and then open up, okay? And then I'd go again, and I'd do 6 per side. So now I'm going back. Notice, I'm every position, I'm holding it for 3 to 5 seconds. And then I'm coming forward, 3 to 5 seconds. Then I'm reaching through with my upper back because my hips are locked in. I'm driving, opening up, and now I'm reaching to the ceiling. So I would do this on, same thing. If I was gonna go on the other side, I would drive on the other side, and you'll see the differences in your mobility. I'm keeping the elbows locked out, I'm aligning my hips, punching that heel out, and then coming here, right? Same thing. After that drill, we're gonna go into a 90-90 position. So just to show that you get warmed up with this, obviously it's kind of hot in here, but nonetheless. From here, we're gonna go into a 90, this is a shin box, sorry, it's a shin box position here. So our shin box position, you're basically kind of in this, like knees close to you, close back to your butt. And the key here is, number one, is that we start with a really tall spine. So a lot of people will get into this position and be hunched over, right? So you wanna get tall, so really tall. So imagine there's a string on the top of your head, somebody's pulling that string the whole time. I'm here actively pulling string, pulling string, pulling string. Now, I'm gonna create a switch in my hips, okay? Notice, watch. I'm going to shift my hips, so I'm gonna open, stay as tall as I can. So I'm gonna do it first without any support, so watch. Keep my abs engaged, and switch my hips right to the other side. And now I get tall again, right? I get tall again. Okay, so that's one repetition on the side. Brace my abs, switch those hips again. So that's 1 per side. We're gonna do 6 per side. Now I'm not gonna go through 6 per side, but you guys will. So watch, if you have a very, very tight hips, you can lean back a little bit. So now notice how now I can use my hands a little bit, still engage my abs, and get that support, and now get that switch, okay? So once again, I can get the support and switch it up, okay? So this is a progression, so if you can do this, great, because from every switch up, you'll also keep your abs engaged, push your hips through, squeeze your butt to the top, get nice and tall, and then I'm gonna control it down. Notice how slow I'm controlling. I'm using my hips to control. Stay as upright as you can and slowly get down to the ground. That's the tough part for most people, right? Switch up, other side, drive your hips through, squeeze your butt, get tall. On the way down, I'm gonna control, 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 control. Okay, notice how upright I am. Now if you have to use your hands, then that's what you do, right? 6 per side. You can say, you can add that progression into this, okay? From here, what we're going to do is we're gonna get up because we wanna add some stability, right? So those are very, I would say, drills that touch on a lot of different points. But from there, stability is such an important thing because if your hip and foot is not stable, it's hard to produce force. So we're gonna do airplanes. They're like single leg RDLs essentially. And I'm gonna show you progressions and regressions for it. So you're standing on one foot, bringing your arms out, and if you can, you're gonna slowly push that hip back and be like in an airplane position, and you're gonna hold that bottom position. So I'm gonna punch that back heel out. I'm gonna feel my whole foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drive back up. Now let's say you have a tough time with that. Watch my back foot. I can slide my back foot and keep support of the ground, and just that last second, I can bring it up, feel my whole foot, 3 to 5 seconds, and then slowly drag it back. Okay, so same thing, we're gonna do 6 per side, okay? And then once we do 6 per side, so you're gonna do left and right. Maybe this will be very challenging for you, but that's okay because here's the thing. As you work on it, it's gonna get better. From there, what we're gonna do is reverse lunge with reach. So I'm gonna reverse lunge, and as I reverse lunge, I'm gonna reach on the opposite side, right? And open up that front side, like I'm reaching behind me to pick something up, come back up. And come back up. Okay, we do that on both sides. And that is your mobility / stability flow and warm up, number 1. And you would do this. So here's a simple way to do this, okay? We're talking about doing 6 reps, but put a timer for how long you're gonna do it. So I recommend that if you have the time to do this anywhere from 6, probably more like 8 to 10 minutes. At your own pace, at your own tempo. Remember, we said that one specific stretch is gonna be a minute long per side. That's 2 minutes right there. So I'd say 8 to 10 minutes of this. Like I said, it could be a morning ritual, just doing this. It could be, and it should be probably a dynamic warm up before your kettlebell bodyweight training, but you're doing this with a lot of intent, with a lot of focus, And this is what you're gonna be doing for 10-day blocks. So for 10 days, you're doing this every day. This is not about giving a ton of variety and not really getting good at this stuff. This is about getting good at this stuff and really shifting the way that you feel, getting that hip mobility, getting that thoracic mobility, like really working on those things. So be very focused, be very intentional about every drill, about every rep, breathing, control, all the things that we need to do. And like I said, that is your dynamic warm-up / mobility flow number 1.